Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I wanted to show you this article first. Billionaires can't get enough of private equity. The ultra wealthy are stepping in. If you go down, where was it? Somewhere down in here. But worry not, private equity is attracting a new wave of investors in the form of billionaire family offices and high net worth retail money. Wall Street banks have done their part. And then it goes on down here. Meanwhile, the ultra wealthy can't get enough of private equity either. According to a recent UBS survey, which polled 221 biggest family offices that on average manage 1.2 billion in assets each. As of 2021, these billionaire offices were already allocating 21% of their money into private equity. 21%. So that is why I keep telling you about my sponsor, Link2. Who is, to my knowledge, one of the only companies that has access to Ripple private equity. Ripple being the only company that is being sued by the SEC and is getting close to the SEC lawsuit being over day by day. Now, I wanted to draw your attention to, this is something I'm doing right now. I've told you, XRP and XLM are my largest holdings, and that remains the same. But in this pullback, because there's a part of me that believes that this current pullback is going to be the last of the significant crypto pullbacks, not the last of the pullbacks, but to me, this might be the last real opportunity, because I've always said that, I've told people that I know, friends that I know, the day that you have regulatory clarity is the day that the real money is already made. That's the way I look at this. The second that the ultra conservative people start coming in, to me, the real money's already been made. I mean, it's just the way the world works. Well, I have a list that I'm working on. I've shown you the list, but I have a list of about 10 or 12 digital assets that I'm not going crazy, because I'm trying to make sure I maintain good liquidity in these times. But I'm $250 here, maybe $500 there. I'm accumulating my list. Quant is one of my favorite ones on the list, but I want to show you how Quant ties into Ripple. That's what's important here. Okay. But the first thing I want to show you is this. I was telling my father, who is the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel, was talking to him about Quant last night. I want you to think about this. The Quant circulating, we know proof of work doesn't work. We know that Bitcoin is only Bitcoin because it was first and because the Wall Street marketing machine has been propping it up. But we also know that the regulators, they don't like Bitcoin, and they're the ones that are about to put in all the regulations, folks. And they've told you it's not Bitcoin if you're paying attention. Look at this. Quant, max supply, 14.6 million. Now, Quant actually works, folks. Quant is solving interoperability similar to what XRP, but it's more like a complement, and I'll show you that in a minute. But think about this for a minute. Bitcoin right now is at 21,000. It's gone as high as 65,000. It's got a 21 million supply. Quant is at 63 freaking dollars, and it is going to be involved with all these CBDCs, and Bitcoin is a pile of garbage. Store of value is what they call it, just because they know it can't do anything else. I'm literally considering backing up my truck on Quant. Now, I want to show you something. This is the CEO of Quant you're about to see right here. Listen to him. These are not jacklegs, folks. I've told you 1,000 times. The reason I'm so fixated on Ripple is because this back in 2013, I literally went down a list. I went down the list of all, and went to the websites of all, anything I could find on the first, page of CoinMarketCap. And when I got to Ripple's website, it was a no-brainer, because I could see what was going on. Quant's similar in that respect. So I'm scooping it up right now.
Currencies matter.
Why do you think
This is the Quant CEO. His name is, what's his name? Gilbert Verdian.
bank digital currencies matter? Why are they important?
It's a very, very timely question. I mean, we started looking at CBDC.
Folks, these are the adults. While all that Mickey Mouse proof of work crap's going on, this is what the adults have been doing. This guy's one of the adults, and I'll show you his background in a second.
Probably around 2017, 2016, before everyone knew about them. We've been working on it in the background, especially with the work around ISO. So coming from the
work around ISO.
Regulator and policy setters working, within the Treasury in the UK and within the Bank of England and running the national.
He was working for the Treasury in the UK and the Bank of England
Structure. We know what it takes to run payments and what that means for citizens, consumers, businesses, wholesale, banks, etc. Why it's important is, we have an opportunity and it's the time is now where CBDCs are an evolution of the existing money that we use. And the evolution allows us to program money in a new way. And if you look at the BIS paper on how CBDCs fit into the financial system, the famous flower picture that they have, it shows that there is room within the financial system for wholesale and retail CBDCs, and it's a way to complement cash.
The mentioned paper.
All right, and so he's referring to the BIS paper. Now, this is this guy's background. He referred to being in he was the security lead, Ministry of Justice in the UK. He's with HSBC, BP, which I think wasn't. Chris Larson was either with BP or Exxon back in the day. He was with the UK Treasury Department. Okay, the Office of the CTO is the Deputy CTO. So this guy's no dummy, and then this is the same company where I showed you the guy on the board was with the Rockefeller Family Foundation or whatever it's called. Now look at this. Anders Zell's been one of the people that's been on Quant for a long time. But look at this. This is Gilbert, same guy you just watched. And this is him apparently in one of these, maybe like a Reddit thread where he's answering questions. Thank you for the great insight and detail. We are agnostic and interoperating with different blockchains, including Ripple XRP Ledger. Similarly, by connecting to Overledger, we will help provide market access, more users and clients from enterprise permission blockchains and public permissionless blockchains to the Ripple network and vice versa. Some use cases by using Overledger, which is what Quant's thing's called. Internal core to Overledger, Ripple XRP. Sorry, my wife called me and I got interrupted there, but we're right here. So Hyperledger Network 1, Overledger, everything where you see Overledger is Quant. And Ripple XRP, even between JPM Coin, Libra, Overledger, no, Libra is no more, but Binance Chain, Overledger. So I also see a use case with our universal utility token approach where we can move digital assets across networks powered by Quant and then do settlement with XRP, a central bank digital currency, or USC. You see where this is going, folks? And then this is something that many of you may have missed. We've been talking about the Digital Pound Foundation and how Ripple has been on these webinars they've been doing. Well, the Quant people have been right there with them. And you'll notice, let me get to it right here. We were talking about this one, if I can get to it, right here the other day. That is James Wallace from Ripple right there. That's Gilbert Verdian from Quant right there. So you can see that this is so anyway, I'm excited about that one. Now remember, Quant's got a supply of 14 something million versus Bitcoin's 21 million, and they're telling you Bitcoin is not it.
When we say, I always get upset and then I get occasional hate tweets when I say that Bitcoin may be called coin, but it's not money. Why? Because a prerequisite for something to be money is to be a stable store of value. So you actually can plan around it. And when the first country embraced Bitcoin, and I was asked what did we think at the fund. I said, well, it's a sovereign decision. Doesn't make it a good decision. And now we have another country that
You actually said to me,
embraced
just
that.
because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yes.
And I'll never forget that. But
Okay, now let's move along. This is something I asked Gary Gensler why he's not protecting these people. Ethereum 2.0 stakers face 36.5% larger loss than Ethereum spot investors. These Ethereum investors who staked millions of dollars worth of Ether tokens to become validators on the soon-to-launch proof-of-stake network are now facing heavy paper losses. But for some reason, Gary Gensler is not wanting to protect these investors. Why is Gary not wanting to protect these investors? Now, probably the biggest thing that came out in the last 24 hours is this. Blockworks. Just in, U.S. Treasury has delivered a framework to President Biden on international crypto regulation. And there was an actual fact sheet with this, folks. And don't forget something. The U.S. Treasury, my understanding is that there's an office, I can't remember the name of the office, but there's an office of the U.S. Treasury who can basically declare something a national security issue, and in doing so, can do pretty much anything they want. This down here, if you go down the objective of the framework, if you read through this, the objectives of this framework are basically everything that is the opposite of what Gary Gensler is doing. Protect consumers, investors, and businesses in the United States and globally by promoting technology and regulatory standards that reflect U.S. values. Protect U.S. and global financial stability and mitigate systemic risk. Think Brianna Madigan ripple drop when she said that she thought that it could help with systemic risk, the XRP ledger. Mitigate illicit finance and folks, don't forget this word right here, national security risks. Don't be surprised if some of this stuff is declared a national security risk and gets designated just by virtue of that. I won't go through any more of this, but this is something we got to soak in over the next few days. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family to not forget that phrase, national security